Welcome to this introduction on the standard normal distribution. In statistics, understanding how data spreads out is crucial, and the normal distribution is the most common way to describe that spread. Today, we will focus specifically on the standard normal distribution, also known as the z-distribution, where the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1. First, let's quickly refresh our memory on the normal distribution, often called the bell curve. It is symmetric, meaning the left side is a mirror image of the right. It is defined by two main numbers: the mean, represented by the Greek letter mu, which is the center or average, and the standard deviation, represented by sigma, which tells us how wide or spread out the curve is. So, what makes the standard normal distribution special? It is a specific case of the normal distribution where we lock the parameters to simple values. The mean is always exactly 0, centering the curve on the y-axis, and the standard deviation is exactly 1. This creates a universal standard that we can use to compare different datasets. You might ask, why do we need this? Imagine you have SAT scores on a scale of 400 to 1600 and ACT scores on a scale of 1 to 36. Comparing them directly is like comparing apples to oranges. By standardizing, we convert both onto the same, standard scale. This allows us to see which score is relatively better compared to its own group. To do this conversion, we use the z-score formula. This formula transforms any raw score into a z-score. The formula is z equals x minus mu, all divided by sigma. This is the bridge between your real-world data and the standardized world of statistics. Let's break down that formula. X represents your raw score, the actual number you observed. Mu is the population mean, or the average of the group, and sigma is the standard deviation. By subtracting the mean from x, we center the data at 0. By dividing by the standard deviation, we scale it so the spread is 1. Once you calculate a z-score, what does it tell you? If z is positive, your value is above the average. If z is negative, it is below the average. And if z is 0, your value is exactly average. The number itself tells you how many standard deviations away from the mean you are. A z of 1.5 means you are 1.5 standard deviations above the average. This standard scale follows the empirical rule perfectly. About 68% of all data falls between a z-score of -1 and +1. 95% falls between -2 and +2. And nearly all data, 99.7%, falls between -3 and +3. This helps us quickly estimate how rare or common a score is. In the standard normal distribution, the total area under the curve represents 100% probability, or 1.0. To find the probability of a specific event, like scoring below a certain number, we calculate the area under the curve for that specific section. This is why z-tables exist. They tell us the area to the left of any given z-score. Let's look at an example. Suppose you scored 85 on a history exam where the average was 75 and the deviation was 5. Your z-score is 2. On a math exam, you scored 80, but the average was 70 with a deviation of 10. Your z-score is only 1. Even though your raw score was lower in math, you actually performed better in history relative to the class, because a z-score of 2 is much higher than 1. To summarize, the standard normal distribution is a bell curve with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Z-scores allow us to standardize and compare different datasets. Remember, the sign tells you if you are above or below average, and the value tells you the distance in standard deviations. Finally, the area under this curve helps us calculate precise probabilities.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.